Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Married at First Sight All-Star panel. I'm Glenn from Jack and Glenn. That's Jackie. Also with us is August Love Story and Lisa Ray. To close out this season of Married at First Sight, season 15 is over, y'all. It's done with. It's over. It's finished. And we got a lot to talk about. We want to talk about the reunion that we missed, part 2 of it, and we want to talk about where are they now. But before we get there, how's everyone doing? August Love Story, how you guys doing?
Doing good.
We are here.
To Lisa, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm really grateful, just for another day, and I'm glad to see y'all's face. As I'm trying to share, so my people who come watch, they already got you notified, but I'm just trying to share. So,
oh no, that's wonderful.
Don't mind me.
That's great, man. Hey, if you haven't done it already, go get your YouTube handle. Make sure that's taken care of. That is wonderful. That's a wonderful thing. Tag people.
It's already been done. You don't have to worry.
Oh, Artika, it's already been done. Don't even think about it. I handle business.
She's like, I already handle business, right? I handle business. Oh man, let's go Married at First Sight, man. I want to talk about this couple here. You want to say something? Oh, I thought you was good. Let's talk about this guy, man. Miguel, and let's start with Miguel and Lindy real quick. Not much with Miguel and Lindy. Miguel and Lindy from mixing, like I said, we mixing both things up together. So it's gonna be the reunion and where are they now. The biggest thing from the reunion wasn't much for them, that they were just happy to be together. Mm-hmm. Happy to be together. Where are they now is they try to get a house. They try to get a house. Miguel ain't happy about no house. So Tom, I'm gonna ask you, man, when you got married, after you got married, was you looking forward to getting a home?
Nah, like it's crazy with me because I didn't think that was possible for me. Credit was bad. Well, it wasn't extremely bad, but I was still working on it. It's just one of those things I wasn't thinking about. We was renting, we had a house to stay in, or we had a roof over our head. So I was like, all right, I'm good with that, and Artika was one actually was like, hey, let's go ahead and try to get a house. And we finally got one. But when I got married, that was a far-fetched dream,
Yeah.
What about you? Did you think about that?
I thought that we should have a home at some point, and I was just trying to figure out how to make it a reality. It was the convincing you that it was possible.
Was the thing about the house was like nobody in my mom, my dad, they didn't buy a home. And so for me, looking at it, it's like, well, the home I want, I can't afford right now. So I ain't thinking about that. I can't afford that for a while, and it was interesting to see that were they really looking for a home or just going to an open house?
They were really looking for a home. Miguel was hesitant, but Lindy was kind of pushing, like, we've been together this long. Maybe I need to go home. She was kind of pushing the issue a little bit. He was hesitant because he didn't want to leave his spot. And I kind of understand that, when you get married, but then, they've been married now at this point, I think it's 5 months, 5 or 6 months. So she's looking to push forward. And he's like, hey, let's hold up for a minute. So they went to look at a couple houses during the episode.
I did see that, and I thought that he was apprehensive still because he didn't know what tomorrow holds for him. That's how I felt. I still felt like he was still like, this too soon. We just got married. I like you, but do I like you? I mean, he say, I love you, but do I love you? Like, that was the energy that I got as to why he didn't want to buy a house, and ultimately she ended up being smart. Like, it's a huge responsibility. He's right. You are responsible for everything. I got a shower leak right now, and I'm all like, dear God, it's not. I tried to fix just the knob, how your shower pulls out, and I thought that was it, but it looks like that's not it. Please don't let them have to break down the shower and, change the pipes, please. Like, it's a whole thing. So I'm with Miguel. They need to just go and wait. Like, it's nice. That's cute. Go pretend and give all your information, but slow down just a little bit. At least wait.
Yeah, I felt like that stuff was staged. That whole, we're going to go look at a house and dream.
And then they did sit in there. You're right, because they did sit in there and record. And what real estate agent is gonna let you sit in there with your camera and stuff and have them sit and talk? You smart.
B&B. That is, it could also be on the market, but at an Airbnb. It didn't feel real to me because it was like, oh, we have to grow into this house. I was like, this house not that big. Like, I can see you having to grow into something that's like 6 or 7 bedrooms, but like this looked like it was like a 4-bedroom home.
It was regular.
I felt like that too. It felt like a couple things that were staged in this whole.
I was just about to say that.
A lot of things was, to me, I thought a lot of things were staged in the Where Are They Now episode. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say the same thing. I think it's funny that Artika said that because as we were watching Where Are They Now, like, we'll get to that later, but one couple, I was like, okay, I feel like they just stayed, 2 couples. I was like, this whole Where Are They Now just feels so staged. Like, no.
Yeah. It felt.
But I'm glad. I'm with Talisa. I'm glad Miguel had a little bit of sense. Like, yeah, let's pump the brakes. Let's pump the brakes on that. Just like on the reunion, obviously, you know, they were like having McGindy was cool, but we're not rushing into that. So same thing with the house. Calm down on that. You know, just get used to each other where y'all are.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was cool. The whole season, Miguel and Lindy really didn't have any issues except for the whole insurance situation. So they're mute point. Allegedly, because I don't know for a fact, allegedly they're not together now.
Really?
Allegedly, they're not together now. She's been looking for an apartment on Instagram, and then she's on this vacation by herself to Vietnam with her and a whole bunch of her friends without Miguel. So allegedly, I'm gonna use allegedly because I don't want nobody to come after me.
But I was gonna say, don't they seem fake to me? Like the relationship, just completely, because it's like they don't go through just for their real issues. Yeah, I just adjusted. You know, some things you just gonna be stuck on. And some things you can compromise with, but like it gotta flow both ways. And it just seems like Miguel is just, yeah, I'm gonna adjust to it. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. You know, and it's like they never really go through issues or really talk about them. The only issue we knew of was the insurance and the name thing. So I don't know. I didn't like I liked them, but I didn't like that they didn't show a real relationship, I guess you can say.
I feel you.
I'll be wanting people to argue.
You know, that's funny because me too. I was wondering. I'm with you a little bit there because I thought about in the part 2, and they showed. Was that in part 2 when they showed the snippet of her and her friend, and she was talking about how controlling he was, and then all of a sudden she was like, I just wish they never saw that. I just wish they saw our love story because that's not what it was. But really, we all know that that's what it was. You know what I mean? And you just happen to you want to retract how you really felt in the moment. You know, wasn't it? He was controlling. He just wanted me to be who he wanted me to be. And I just thought to myself, if that's what it was, then that's what it was. If you feel differently about it now, or you've adjusted and accepted that as part of your narrative, then so be it. But don't go retracting what you said, because baby, that was real. Them were real thoughts and emotions. That scene for me did not feel fake. It felt like how I perceived Miguel anyway. So that's just me. So I'm gonna have to agree with you on that, Tommy. Like it, yeah. Because it just seemed like, why are you pretending? You know what I mean? You guys are in your fancy clothes. Like I don't know. And unbuttoned. Why you got that 3-piece tuxedo on? Like I didn't like none of that. I didn't like that. I wanted him just to have on a regular suit. Like, what are we doing? Whose wedding did we go to that required after 5 attire? And even then, do you guys wear tuxedos unless you're in the wedding? And when was the last time in that you wore a 3-piece? I don't even think people wear cummerbunds anymore, do they? Like, okay, I'm just on the tangent.
No.
I ain't like it. I be looking at all their clothes and stuff, and I, don't. That's probably what I should do a review on what they look like. Nevertheless,
you're fine.
But I like that you said that too, Talisa, to go back to that part of the reunion. I would have rather her say, yeah, that's how I felt in the moment. Maybe I don't feel that way anymore, but not like try to retract it. Like I wish they hadn't shown that, but that's the real. That's the real. And yeah.
But you know, you look at the shows like this and most shows, people try to portray a certain thing on TV. We saw Alexis do it the whole season, right? Try to portray a certain way on TV the whole season, and you know that she hood, right? We know she hood. I mean, she tried to portray herself in a certain way, and you can see her catching herself sometimes. Mm-hmm. Who was that? Last season, Katina and Elijah one, right? Katina carried herself a certain way, and we know Elijah one, like after the camera, she would go off on me. Mm-hmm. So people just, when you see these cameras, they try to create their own narrative. I mean, Ryan did it with the Atlanta season, created a whole narrative, him and Claire. So
yeah.
So that's what they do. They create a narrative on TV. So we were talking about Alexis. I want to take it back to the reunion a little bit. When Alexis and Justin, Alexis' sister and Justin's brother came out there.
Yes.
And Justin's brother was like, you know what? I told y'all, basically, I told you that you weren't ready to be married. I was like, you know what? Bro tried to warn everybody. He tried to warn everybody, and then nobody listened. That this dude was right. That Justin was really unstable to be married. Your thoughts on his brother in the reunion coming out and just clarifying what he said? Like, I told Justin he wasn't ready. I knew he wasn't ready. Did y'all believe him when he said it?
I think I did. I mean, I believe. Well, I think when he came out and said, "I don't think that he should be doing this. That he's not ready. That he just love." I believed him. Who knows you better? Well, it's a catch-22. You know, people know you well, right? And we do advance and we do change. But I think when I watched him, for me, Justin seemed gullible and impressionable and just not really like it felt like he was off in, you know, fairy tale land. So I believed his brother, and I was like, and he got mad at him. The way he got mad at him for saying it made me know that it was true versus, you know, what you would say when you change is, well, you just have to wait and see. You know, I know for me, when people still think I'm gonna pop off, I'm not. I just be like, you know, you're entitled because that is who you know. Now, don't think that it won't happen, but it takes a little bit more. People do change. And I think that the brother was dead on. I'm just going to answer the question because Artika looked like she want to say something, and I'm done. No.
No, I'm sorry. I was trying to read and I can't see. So go ahead.
Oh. Nah, man, I ain't believe the brother, man, until we got a different Justin. Let's start there. This is a different Justin from what we saw on the show. Turns out his brother was right, apparently. I don't like this villain Justin. You know, I'd rather have the sensitive, the very sensitive. I think he's still sensitive and soft, but I'd rather have that Justin than this Justin that we're seeing. I think his brother hit the what is it, the nail on the head with the he's too into love and that's gonna distract him from actually getting to know the person that he's marrying. And I think that was his downfall. He was trying to be too perfect for it to work rather than being himself and actually working on it, you know, trying for it to come in like, oh, everything is A-okay, everything is perfect, everything is this, everything is that, and then it not, you know, working out because he wasn't being truthful with her. She obviously wasn't being truthful with him. Run into issues, and now we have villain Justin. It sucks, but yeah. Was that the question? That was the question, right?
Yeah. Good question. I mean, there was a question. I mean, his brother hit the nail on the head too, and I think Justin was one of those guys. He wanted marriage so bad. You know how we said Mitch wanted marriage, and he just wanted to be married.
Yeah.
Justin wanted to be married as well. I mean, I think he just wanted to be there, and I don't care which woman they would have gave Justin. I think he would have been the same way. Because remember at the beginning, he was all touchy-feely, lovey-dovey. He was into Alexis. He was feeling all over Alexis. He wanted everything, and then of course she did some things to make him turn him off. Right? By the way she behaved, and Justin got fed up. I mean, this is the Justin that cried over Ben and Morgan, right? He cried over Ben and Morgan, and now he's hard. He want to fight everybody, right? He want to take on the world. So which one are you? You know what I'm saying? Are you which Justin are you? Are you the one that want to take on the world, or are you the one that every time at a drop of a dime, you're crying at somebody else's relationship, not your own? You're crying about somebody else's relationship that you only known for like a week or two. You know, so that's one of the things when his brother knew that he was too emotional, that he wasn't really healed from the last situation.
Dang. You said too emotional. So remember, emotions aren't just soft, they're hard. So if he's too emotional, he's gonna go all the way to this side, or he can go all the way to that side. Emotional is the whole range. So when they say he's emotional, that's why I believed. I'm like, and then like, okay, imagine you. So you showed your softer side the whole season. While you watching it, while other people watching it, you on social media seeing them like rake you feel embarrassed, you know what I'm saying? So then I gotta come back on a reunion and prove myself. Right. I'm gonna try to flex on him. And that's what he did. Even when you go to the Where Are They Now, he was like, now look, I ain't putting up with this no more, girl.
I agree, Jackie. 100%. I agree. I think that he is both of those. If he could find a good balance, it would be great. But emotional people are either I'm gonna be extremely sensitive and happy, or I'm gonna be upset and mad. There's no like real balance, and so I'm with you on that, Jackie. I'm over here like I'm in the sign language area talking about hallelujah with my hallelujah hands. Okay, like because baby, if you're not telling the truth, I'm in agreement. That's all I got. That's what I want to say. Yes, he is both of them.
But
Justin at the Where Are They Now, when he came into the house, I really felt like, you know how at the end of the school year, somebody know they're not coming back. They got to get everything off their chest, and they be like, you cool. Man, I don't mess with you, and let me tell you why I don't mess with you. That's what it felt like he did.
Yeah.
He just going around the room.
It did. It felt like he like, you know what? I'm leaving. I ain't never see none of you guys again. It's curtain calls. It's closing. I'm closing this out. Even to the point where he and Alexis, when they met at the park on the Way There Now, you know, she was wrong. I think I said on our review, she was wrong. When you invite somebody over to have a conversation, you shouldn't be on your phone 15 minutes the whole time while y'all having that conversation. She didn't bring eye-to-eye contact to that dude. She didn't look at him. She didn't do anything to him. And she was just like, whatever. And he was like, you embarrassed me on national TV. You told everybody I couldn't get it up.
Oh, when they was at the park?
At the park, yes.
I felt like he was wrong.
He was wrong, but I think he was wrong for the way he verbalized. But I think she was wrong because he said she invited him to the park to have a conversation. Now, of course, we might have missed some things, and cut some things. But if we're having a conversation and we want to come to the park and have a conversation, don't be on your phone all day.
Yeah,
let's address each other. Sit at the picnic table, sit on the floor, put a blanket out, and let's look at each other. Maybe she irritated him because she was just like this the whole clip.
I like you said at the beginning, I feel like we missed something when they first started because she was on her phone out of irritation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You can see the irritation. I'm not taking up for Alexis because I think Alexis was wrong throughout this whole thing. But I don't think Justin came into that conversation with the mindset that I want some type of resolve or I want some type of closure. He came into that mindset, into that meeting with the mindset of she gonna hear what I got to say.
Yes.
You know, I was embarrassed, which you shouldn't be embarrassed about that. That's her. That's in her opinion. You know what I'm saying? There ain't nothing you can do about it. If she's lying and she's telling the truth, it's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Because nobody is like literally trying to see if you, what did she say? He couldn't get hard. Nobody cares if you can get hard.
Manifest.
Huh?
She used the word it could not manifest.
No, yeah, she said it didn't manifest.
It didn't manifest.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I never said you couldn't get it up. Come on now.
Right.
We all know if the act don't take place, who gonna get blamed more?
Right, the man.
And she tried, and so I think Justin was wrong in his reaction. Yes, but at the same time, when she was like, I mean, I didn't say that. People can assume, and she just act like you know if you tell somebody, oh, we tried to do it, it ain't work. They gonna be like, dude, mess like
right.
But did she did not.
That's funny.
She did not. Hold on. She did not lie.
No,
she did not lie, because he said, and his explanation is, you're right, I couldn't get it up, but it was because of your pH balance.
Well, listen, but you're saying we had this whole discussion. He said she didn't lie, but she kept saying, I never said that. She kept saying, I never said that.
She was saying she didn't directly say he could.
Exactly. And so her thing was trying to throw off on him like, I never said that. But I know people can assume that. Like she kept saying, but I didn't say it. Well,
she alluded to it.
That's how you think it came off. So she never actually admitted it. But for him to say, oh, you ain't say why. Your pH balance was off. I was like, really?
Which is a slick way of saying you got some funky cooch. I'm just
Glenn, how long you been sitting on that one, man?
So it was when he said it, I had to look, because it was like, did he just say that?
Yeah.
Like, are we in grade school? Because her comeback was
all I can say was
that's a tick for tat, man.
Yeah,
right.
We're like, we in grade school. She's like, what you can say next? My breath stink? My feet too big?
Right.
Yes.
Man, did you see walk off though?
I ain't finna be that hard on Justin, because she was hard on him the whole season, and she alluded to his inability to perform the entire season. So I'm probably gonna go ahead and be petty with him. Like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Because she, just gaslighted him, like he said, the entire season. You know how in the reunion in the part 2, and I was proud of him in that moment for him to be like, you gaslighted me. And that's probably why he had to come in there as the evil twin, because I watched this and realized that you was dogging me the whole time, talking about you on my team, you on my side, but you got bad things to say in every single one of your vignettes. Like, that's not okay. And so I'm all like, get your lick back, dog. It's cool. Get your lick back. Like, your mama said, don't let nobody hit you. Hit him back. I know it's a girl, so just mush her in her face. Like, that's probably what your mama told her, and that's what he did. I'm gonna mush you. Cause Glenn, I'm done with you. Okay, I'm done with you for the rest of this live, because, sir, I wasn't ready.
That's good. Look, but you said something that was key though, Talisa. I know you don't want me. You said something that was key though. Justin, and I think Jackie said it too. When he would look back and he realized that she was talking behind his back,
bad.
That hurt him. I mean, it really hurt him, because the whole time in his face, she said, "I'm on your team. I'm with you. I'm trying to help you." And now you're talking about the fact that I fly kites. You talk about the fact that I can't communicate properly. You talk about the fact that my thrust game is weak. You talk about the fact that, that you all this other stuff that you didn't tell me personally, right? We talked about all this other stuff, and it's like somebody's telling your friend about you and you don't find out until the other friend are mad, right? He found this out when we did. He probably, can you imagine if my man's watching the show with his family or watching the show with his boys, and that part come up and they're like, "Oh, you got weak thrust game?" Like, bruh, she talking about you like that? Like, bruh, you couldn't get it up. I'm just imagining who was he watching a show with when all this came out, because they don't get to see the editing. They get to see it when we see it. So it's like, she really put bruh, and like I said, I'm not on Alexa's side for all those in the chat. I agree. She put bruh out there a lot. She put him out there, and I think at a certain point, you can't take the high road. And Justin was at the point where he didn't want to take the high road anymore. Justin said he just wanted to take the low road. He's like, okay, cool. Tell the whole story. This is why. I didn't get it up. This is why what happened. And so he was mad the whole time.
I was gonna say, man, it's funny that we all give this disclaimer that we're not on Alexis's side. God damn, I said it like twice.
I like Alexis. I see where she's coming from. I like Alexis. I gotta keep saying that because people be in our chat like, yo, Glenn, you just Alexis apologist. You just love Alexis.
Yeah,
I keep telling people, man. I just see it from both ways. But go ahead.
That was the thing for me. It was like, I get what you're saying. Like if she said that about him, but I just feel like it's a better way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I just even being petty, because his pettiness messed everything up for it, because it was so awkward at the at Kristen's birthday party because of how he acted.
Let's also talk about how that's awkward in and of itself. You put 10 people who met each other a few months ago, and most of us not even together anymore, and now we about to stay under the same roof and supposed to be cool. Like, give us something else next season, Lifetime.
That's what they did last time, wasn't it?
No.
Oh.
No.
But they all hung out again.
A little dinner, a little not even a dinner because that's too formal. Give us a little picnic. And that's outside, and then everybody get to go home. Like, nothing formal, and definitely no overnighters. Like,
if we ain't cool, we not cool. Like, don't put me with the people that I talk to, and don't even make me ask about somebody that I'm not cool with, because why? But that's just me, because of course, I've said many a time, when we're done with each other, you kind of die to me. So,
and me, I'm thinking, hey man, that was a good idea, man. Oh, they had fun. Everybody just got to get together one last time.
Like, if you bring up somebody from like a few years ago that I don't talk to, I'll be quick to be like, who? Because I really forgot this person existed. Because literally, if I don't fool with you, I block you out. So it is what it is.
I just think Justin could have handled that whole situation of you embarrassed me in a more tactful way than his walk off at the park was just hilarious to me. But he did it in such a way as to say, I got you, you know. And I don't feel like you live life like that. You should, all right, that embarrassed me. I'll tell you that embarrassed me. And then I'm gonna move past it because it embarrassed me in the past. So moving forward, keep my name out your mouth.
You're such a good person, such a bigger person, and I love that for you, Tommy. Because I don't know if I'm the bigger person. I don't know if I'm not gonna hit you in the below the belt. I don't know. I might be like, okay, it's cool. You embarrassed me. You know that whole how she was talking about you assassinated my character. Ma'am, you assassinated his character too. You defamed him too. Like both of y'all are in the same space, if that's what we're looking at, right? But Tommy, listen, when I grow up, I hope that my response is very tactful and graceful, and I say things like, "Yes, you embarrassed me," and
he petty too.
Right? I'm super petty, right? But it's like I'm gonna get you. Like, instead of stabbing you, I'm gonna cut you a lot. You know,
right?
You're gonna do a couple slices. You're gonna
right. You're gonna have a bunch of slices on, and it's gonna hurt worse. You know,
you're not gonna be like, finish him, because
right? No.
That would be me.
Right.
We're gonna be together. Talking about it's over, it's done.
Stick the knife in, turn it, bow out. But he's like, you're a really good person, but let me tell you about this. Slice.
Right.
That's him.
And then tomorrow it's the same thing. We back at it again. But it's just like, I just didn't like that, man. And that was the biggest thing. I started to dislike his character in the way that he was carrying himself, because I think it bothered me more him calling Nate gay and how he handled that situation.
Agreed.
Than anything else, because I feel like that's something completely different, than what's going on. And then come to find out, it was just for him, it was a misunderstanding in what Nate was saying, and that's a conversation you can have with a man, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's what turned me off. And then anything else he did, I was gonna be like, you can handle yourself better,
Yeah, I see that. I can see that. But again, he came in with on the defense mode.
Yeah.
Anybody say anything to me, I got something for you.
Except
and, because he is very he is very emotional and very sensitive. So you're gonna get all of the smoke today is really, I think, how he came in. And he ain't talked to nobody ahead of time to be like, help me figure out how do I handle these situations, because they're gonna come for me because I blocked and unblocked and blocked and unblocked them. You know what I mean? Like how he didn't talk to nobody to get to he needed to have like a home girl, homeboy, have a conversation. How do I navigate this space? Right? You know. Because the whole Nate thing, I didn't like that. Because Nate was just complimenting you, yo. Like, at least that's how I see it. And you're just, maybe you're uncomfortable with your manhood. And so receiving a compliment from another man is uncomfortable for you. But I'm not saying that. But, all of these things could be true. Like, all of them could, listen.
Nate, and that's the thing I was getting at. Nate could be not saying that he is or not. But if he's closeted, in the closet or whatnot, right? Say that to him. You sitting on a stage in front of his wife, all y'all friend, basically your friend group at this point, saying this man made a pass at you
6 months ago.
6 months ago, right? On top of that, so it's like either you're lying or it's true. But if it's true, why you didn't say nothing to him?
Directly in the moment. Directly in the moment, though, too. He could have said, "Oh, I'm uncomfortable with that. That's thank you. That's enough." Like, or something. I don't know. 6 months later, but I think the 6 months later is because in Nate's vignette again, he cried too much. He too emotional. So I think he thought he was the Lord and that vengeance was his when he walked on that stage. I just, so I feel for the brother though. Like, I feel for him.
Then he ended up apologizing to everybody. I was like, man, you got to stand in it.
Okay. And that's what I was going to get to. Okay. Those two things. Okay. So, with like Talisa said, I think even though it was the past, like it had been, and I'm not talking about the next specifically, but the show, the filming was in the past. But my embarrassment is right now. Because the show just came on. So my embarrassment is right now. I know it was because that's why I don't never understand, even when it comes to love and hip hop and stuff. You know what I'm saying? We have been filmed, or the Real Housewives, we've been filmed. But once I start watching that again, and you play that clip, all that stuff come back, and I'm like, I know this was months ago, but like I'm mad all over again. I'm mad. So I think in that Justin couldn't be embarrassed then because he was like in it. So now I'm outside watching it and I'm totally embarrassed. And plus, I'm about to get everybody for it.
Plus Lifetime had that music to it to make it dramatic.
Yes. So he came in there on a mission. He came in there on a mission. But I did not like how he threw Nate under the bus thing. But I like how Mitch on the Where Are They Now try to put it in perspective. He was like, maybe it wasn't like that. Nate said it. It wasn't really a pass, and Justin was all in, but that's the way I took it. Okay, that's the way you took it, but that ain't how he meant it. You missing it. That man was not making a pass at you.
Translation is that's not the first time you thought you've been hit on.
Maybe so. And so I want to go to the apology thing. So I felt, he owed everybody. Like, I was like, okay, he owed everybody an apology, especially Nate. And the thing that I got hung up on the apology is Alexis sat there all mad, like he apologized to everybody in the room but me. Me, myself, I don't feel like he owed her no apology. Because he got on her for how she made him feel. I'm like, what am I apologizing for? Because I called you out about how you called me out.
But I was going there next because if
now he shouldn't have told her shut up. He was kind of, a little bit rude. But I mean, in what his point, I don't think he should apologize for his point. Maybe his approach.
If you're apologizing to everybody in the room that you offended, and you leave me out,
she offended me more than I offended her.
If you apologize to everybody in the room,
just saying,
and you leave me out, how am I supposed to feel, Talisa? if somebody offended you, because you,
Oh no, Artika ready.
Artika. If I offended all of y'all, right? I offended all y'all. I got you sitting down, Talisa sitting down, Jackie sitting down, Tommy sitting down, and I offended everybody. And I apologize to everybody, but besides you, what's going on? What's getting ready to happen?
Okay, so
I would have said you forgot somebody.
If I am Alexis, I'm gonna be like, oh, so you ain't do nothing to me? But if I am Justin, I'll be like, so you ain't do nothing to me? We both wrong. Are you? Okay.
Why I say they both wrong too?
But if I were Justin, I wouldn't feel like I owe Alexis an apology. But I understand if Alexis feels like she's owed an apology. But I would be like, what do you want me to apologize for? Like, tell me specifically so that I can tell you if I actually apologize for doing that. Because if I don't, I'm not going to apologize. I just need to know specifically what the reason is.
I honestly think that I don't necessarily think he needed to apologize to her, but I do think he should have acknowledged that he sees her in the room, because you went around the room and purposely skipped her. Acknowledge that she's there. You don't have to apologize because nobody's making you do this, and move past it.
What does acknowledging that she's there look like? Hey, Alexis.
Something. Hey, Alexis is fine. I'm not going to apologize to you because we talked about what we need to talk about. We don't need to go any further with that.
I feel like that puts it.
But it does.
If I acknowledge you and I don't say that I'm sorry, that like makes it even more glaring to people that I skipped you.
Nope. I mean, like, they obviously see it.
Because I would be like, okay, with the way that we're on the screen, like, let's just say I apologize to Glenn and then I jump over here to Tommy. Jackie's the person that I have the issue with, so I'm going to skip Jackie. What I would do is just go over to Talisa and then come on back over to Glenn again and be like, really sorry. I'm just not gonna say anything to Jackie. I ain't got nothing to say to you if I don't like you, if I'm not fooling with you.
Man,
I'm not gonna be like, hey Jackie, how you doing?
No, you don't just say, hey, I'm not apologizing to you because we discussed what we needed to say. The best thing for us to do is not talk to each other.
And that's putting it out there for everybody else.
Because Kristen said something that made sense. And I was thinking the same thing. I was like, it makes it seem ingenuine for you to be playing a game when you're sitting here apologizing. Either you pull everybody to a side at some point during the night and then you come, or you just say, hey, I've been making an ass of myself this whole time. I'm sorry.
I'm not apologizing to you if I don't mean it.
Right. Mama, acknowledge that you're human.
I ain't either, Artika, and I ain't acknowledging you either. Okay. As a matter of fact, probably nobody would have gotten an apology. There would not have been an apology tour from me because I have been a good person the entire season and vulnerable and open, and y'all all taking shots at me. Now, I would have been like, all right, y'all. Like, what are we doing? There's no world tour with my mic in my hand apologizing to y'all for nothing. And honestly, if you want to go around and apologize, I'm sorry, Jackie. I'm sorry, Glenn. I'm sorry, Artika. And then the end, and so be it. Because she too owed an apology. If she wanted to be the bigger person and to receive one, then she should have gave one as well. She should have been like, so I recognize that I had some fault in this season and I should not have said some things. And he would have been like, I appreciate that and I apologize. She didn't feel like she owed him no apology, so he didn't feel like he owed her one. I'm just gonna be honest. Nobody would have got nothing out of me though. I probably wouldn't even have showed up. Let's keep it a band. Like, why am I coming in this space with all these people that don't like me? Oh, you finna give me another $1,500 check, then I'll be there. But it's gonna be that's what's up. All right. You want me to say something? That's all I got though. Is all right. This was nice, Kristen. I hope you have a good time in your life, Kristen. Like that. Oh, y'all, that's just all right then. That's it. Cause I'm not there yet. I'm still working on some things. And if y'all don't like me and y'all voiced it and y'all sitting there stonewalling me when Nate's talking about I unblocked you, unblocked you, and all y'all in agreement, I don't have nothing to say. What do you want from me? I don't fool with y'all.
I like that you said that to Lisa. Yeah, it would have prompted Justin to apologize if she had said, because for real, she embarrassed him in national TV and in front of this group. So if in that space she was like, you know what, Justin, my bad, then he probably would have been like, you know what, and I wanted to express myself for how I felt, and I shouldn't have said it like that. So I give an apology. So, but to go to what Tommy and Artika was saying, I acknowledge. If I was Justin, I'd have been like, I'm sorry, Nate. I shouldn't have did. Kristen, I'm sorry. Ben, I'm sorry. Morgan, I'm sorry. And I would have got to Lex and say, you know what it is. There you go. That's the acknowledgement. You know what it is. You know what time it is. So, and Lindy and Miguel, and keep going. That's the acknowledgement you give. You know what it is.
I like that, Jackie, because that's really what it is. You know what's up. Like
that's it. That's it.
I get it. I'm with you. Where is Artika so she could hear that? Because she would be like, oh, okay. She'd be like, oh, okay, I can get with that. She might get with that.
Right. The only reason I say I think he owes her one because she apologized to him prior to that. When it was in the hallway, she pulled him aside. And this is on Wait Already Now.
No. Don't pull me aside, though. That's the thing. You embarrassed me in front of everybody. Apologize in front of everybody.
But still on national TV, though.
And she continually, though. So we saw it after the fact. But she embarrassed him before we got to see it with that group of people. Mm-hmm. That whole, my husband's celibate, my husband's celibate, my husband's celibate. Mm-hmm. You best believe that her and Kristen were having a conversation about how awful their husbands were in bed. How they could not perform. You better believe that when Morgan was being whatever with Ben, she was complaining about her husband and how soft he was, and he's so soft in everyday life and behind closed door. He's soft. Like she probably was like, really, don't Tommy now. You knew I had Tommy now.
The play on words.
I see what you did there.
The play on words.
But I'm just saying, y'all, like before we ever saw that he was embarrassed, she embarrassed him with their friend group. And so listen, he should have. I'm with you. I'm with you, Jackie. If you're gonna apologize in front of everybody. Mm-hmm. Even though they'll see that later, I need the satisfaction of it now. What do they say? What's that thing? A public embarrassment requires a public apology. Yeah. That thing that they say. I mean, but that's just me. And I'm not really trying to hurt nobody that requires me to come back and apologize for nothing, because that's going to take a lot out of me as it starts. So I'm trying to be a good human from the beginning. Why should I have to go back and apologize? So I don't know, y'all. But I wasn't a fan of Alexis for a long time. And then let's just, before we move on, let's just talk about how they had sex already.
Yes.
First day. Let's just talk about that. And I don't want to share it with nobody. And then she was like, now you got me looking like a liar. He was like, well, you lied with me. You agreed. I'm like, both of y'all is nuts, though. Like, both of y'all is nuts. Like, maybe you were meant to be with each other, but really you weren't. And that whole bring the experts out and have the experts try and see what it was, and if they could why would y'all want them to get back together? There was nothing healthy about that relationship for me. I wasn't rooting for them after a while. I root for my people and everything, but after a while I was done with them. Like, nobody wanted them to.
What's up with Kevin Frazier kept trying to get them back together. Like, we saw it, we could see it. No, we
can't.
Nobody saw nothing.
No, we can't.
We didn't see nothing.
We don't want that for y'all.
We don't want that for y'all. It's gonna end badly. Somebody gonna get hurt. The police gonna get called. It's not gonna be good, right? It's not gonna be good. But you said something about the sex. They couldn't agree if they had sex, Talisa. On the reunion, they couldn't agree if they had sex. Justin was like,
I kept saying, who's lying? Who's lying? Which one of y'all are lying? Somebody is lying about something. The whole coming to I didn't come to your house to have sex with you in the middle of the night. I didn't want to know. And then at one point she was like, I mean, yeah, I buzzed you. I was there, but it wasn't to have at 2 a.m, ma'am. We all know what 2
That's
a.m.
That's a booty call.
Yeah, we know what 2 a.m. brings. So either you showed up at his house or you didn't. So that's the question that should have been asked. Well, I guess Kevin tried, and she's all, no, I did not. I did not. ma'am, that tells me you did. You too stoic. You too like it's too much. It's too much for him not to have good thrust game and not able to manifest. For you to be going to his apartment, ma'am, somebody's lying. Okay.
Look,
anyway,
she always played. If you really know what she did, she always played on words. When he didn't say it correct, she played on the words. Like I said, a manifest. Well, I didn't say erection. I said manifest. People can imply, and they can imply what? I can say we had sex, but his thing was like a hot orgasm, and then he was like, "Well, I think you did, bruh. She probably lied to you. I can't remember who that was to their wife that they was lying for 10 years. That they were having an orgasm. I can't remember the guy, the artist. It was a star, and his wife said he was lying for 10 years. She was lying for 10 years that he was making her have an orgasm.
Neo. No, I'm just kidding.
No. Somebody in the chat know who it is, but I can't remember who it was. It just came out recently this year that she said she was lying for 10 years by him having an orgasm. Oh, DJ Envy, that's what it was. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Someone she was lying. I couldn't remember.
What? But while we're on that, let me tell you the part that I was like, the lie was just so ingrained. I was like, so I'm trying to figure out when she, when she talked about at the retreat, you excited you had sex with your wife. Like, was we talking about that night or was that the first? Like, I don't even know when she talked about it did manifest. Was she really talking about the first time on the after party? Like, I'm like, which? Because on the reunion, she made it sound like they didn't do it no more. Like it really didn't happen no more. But I was just like, this lie is just, you should have just said we did it on the honeymoon. I'm too old to keep up this farce. Like, no, why? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this?
Yeah, it's crazy.
So that's why I really felt like she was wrong for throwing that man under the bus because he all confused. Like, which time is she talking about?
but again, it goes back to us too. It goes back to him. He lied because when it was at the resort, he said it was all great and grander. It was good. Was it great because you got your man? Or was it good?
Apparently, it was great to him. It just wasn't to her.
It was great because he got his rocks off. And he ain't got his rocks off in a year and a half.
Yeah. But yeah, look, for them two, I hope they find whoever they want to find. I think she just want to be a party girl. And I asked Jackie this question. When she was going out to the clubs, as close as her and Kristen and the rest of the girls were, do you think that she was going out? When she said she was going out to the club every weekend with her friends, do you think the other girls were going with her? Or do you think she was just going with her friends that she knew prior to Married at First Sight?
She was going with them dudes.
Yeah, you might be right. I wonder like
going with the homies.
I'm with you, Tommy. Which fed more into his insecurities because he knew she ain't had no girlfriends.
Mm-hmm.
Only girlfriend she had is probably her sister. That's the only person that could probably deal with her. And even her sister was, I low-key thought her sister was looking at her like, girl, like she was like, you could have did more. You was complaining. Like that's how I felt her sister, the energy from her sister. But yeah, you're right, Tommy. She was going out with the fellas. Them was the homies.
She was with the homies. Speaking of homies, man, they bring up Morgan in the chat. So let's get with Morgan and Ben from the reunion. We saw Morgan and Ben, as Jackie always says, Talisa, for the reunion, did they let Morgan off the hook, the experts? Did they let her off the hook?
They did. I don't think that they held her accountable enough. And told her, like when they told them that they quit, when they told Justin and Alexis they quit, that should have been what they told Morgan, that Morgan quit and that Morgan wasn't ready. Morgan probably gave them like an ultimatum or some shit though. The way she just comes across so like hard and tough to me. Like she probably told them, if y'all say something bad when we get out of here, I'ma hurt you. Ain't no telling. I pity the fool. Ain't no telling what she said because they let her off. They did not tell her that she was unwavering. They did not tell her you didn't know how to just shut up and listen to the man that the man apologized a million times to you. When you want an apology a specific way, you can't tell somebody how to apologize. But he seems sincere to me. I mean, I think he seems sincere to most of us. I just feel like they pick and choose who they are going to hold accountable. Like nobody was holding her accountable on the show though either. Nobody really said you need to. Like what did she say? I'm learning how not to be reactive because that is what she is. Nobody has said that, but they agreed that she was a very reactive person. They agreed. What was that? Dr. Pepperhead was like, I'm glad that you're working on that. Like, but nobody wanted to tell her that, you know, you really a piece of shit. Like, I don't know. That's just my opinion. I don't know. Do y'all think that they let her off the hook?
Yes, absolutely.
I think they left the hook because I think
absolutely.
I've always said that because if that was Olajuwon, if it was a male, they wouldn't let a man off the hook that way. Right? If a man was treating his wife like that, the way she treated Ben and what she said, like, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna make this miserable for you, I'm gonna make this experience terrible for you. Man, we would have ate that. People would have ate that dude up. Dr. Pastor Cal would have been in that dude's face, right? They tripped over Olajuwon talking about his wife. You know, I need you to cook breakfast every day. Like, you're a caveman. What do you do with the woman who's being like cavemanish? You know what I'm saying? She's rough on this dude. She's really being the aggressive one. She up in his face. She walking out there like Stone Cold Steve Austin or whatever, getting in his face. No, she really probably just mad at him and beating him up. He's the whipping boy. To me, I still don't think we got the full story. I don't think we ever will get the full story of what he said and what else was said. Because to me, it had to be, you can't be that mad over the bachelor degree situation.
Well, that's my thing. And if that is all she's mad about, then again, they should have addressed that. Like, ma'am, you can't, it's not that, no, for your reaction to be what it is, for that is just out of control. But even on a reunion when Pastor Cal was like, well, do you feel like you could have extended him some grace? You could have did. And she was like, no. I was like, and they just let it be. I was like, what?
Right.
Like, no, you should have said to her, no. That is not, do you not understand that is not a logical, a rational reaction? That's just, no, we don't do that. If you want to, and then if you want to be forgiven, you got to forgive sometimes. So if you don't want nobody to forgive you, don't forgive nobody else.
But that's why it's confusing. Go ahead, Tommy. Go ahead.
I was going to say, yes, I do think the experts let her off the hook easy. The experts got an expert better, for sure. But I wanted to point out on the Where Are They Now, that couple could have worked.
Yes.
If they would have, you know, done that thing within the show, that couple would have worked. Cause they, like, looking at them, I was like, damn, they look good. You know, they seem to have it together as far as like working it out right there. Like, if you need to, go move the table and you know, wrestle each other if you need to. Do what you gotta do, but, you know, work on it. And I feel like quitting in the middle of it, not giving him a chance, and he's apologizing. The apology is not for you, it's for him.
Mm-hmm.
Once he gives that first apology, all the other ones is, I'm just trying to get on your good side. I'm just trying to pull you, you know, whatever you need me to do, I want to do that. That's what that apology is. You got to accept the first one and move past it. If you can't move past it, figure it out. Call the experts. Allow the experts to expert better. But you have to do that, man. And it's like just seeing them guys work out together and wrestle with each other and stuff like that, man. You can't tell me that couple wouldn't have been a nice couple.
She saw it too, though. She saw it too.
Yeah.
Did you hear her say, do you think that we could whatever, where do you think we are now? And he was like, we could be friends. She saw that if she had been gave a little more grace, that it probably could have worked in that moment.
Yeah.
She saw that.
For sure. Appreciate it, K-Mac. I muted to say bless you to him too.
But since you bring that up, Tommy, that's when I was like, this Where Are They Now is so freaking staged, because that was her whole thing when they did the reunion, and when her and Ben, you know, broke up. Like, I don't see no way that we could be friends. Like, they ain't talk to each other. And I was like, now how the freak they end up? Now we know they go to the same gym, but she end up gonna help him punch the punching bag. Let me teach you how to do this. I was like, this is such a freaking setup right here. They would never based on their behavior from the reunion. They're not hanging out with each other. This is so set up just to film. I was like,
but at least they was willing to do it, because at one point she wasn't willing to be around them, right?
But that's what I'm saying.
So as time went on, and whether it's for the check, like Talisa said, she was willing to be around them. I agree with Tommy. I think it could have worked out. They would have did this.
I believe it.
If she would have just let go and did the Muay Thai stuff with him and forgave him and maybe some tantric yoga with him, I don't know. Because I mean, I think was it the reunion or one of those things. It might have been the reunion where they kept showing how sexually in tune she was with Ben's body, right? How much she talked about, oh, look at your body. Oh, my husband. Oh, my God, he's so sexy. How does that and the other? If Ben would have shut his mouth, he might have got some. And I think somebody said that on the reunion, like, if y'all would have had sex, it would have been okay. Y'all might have been all right. You know what I'm saying? I think her and Ben.
He would have had to perform, though. He would have had to show up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Please show up.
Oh yeah. You gotta show up. But Ben, K-Mac, Ben said that him and him and Morgan went to the same gym. They saw each other one day on one of the reunions. He said they saw each other at the gym and they gave each other the peace sign. This was when production was in there.
That's why, again, I feel like that was for show. They didn't even speak to each other when they saw each other. Like,
but time heals all wounds. So time heals all wounds.
She should have showed that man some more grace, and like in that moment when she's mad, like I just want to punch something. They could have done some Muay Thai before then and been all good. She's so daggone mad.
Yeah, he should invite her out. I mean, that's when the experts, Tommy, should have came in and came to them and be like, okay, look, we know he did this, but we need y'all to work on these team building exercises. We need you to work on these couple exercises. We need you to work on some trust things to try to build it out. And I think they should have told her, no, you can't quit right now. I don't think they should let people quit until the 8 weeks are up. Just my opinion. Unless somebody's beating you and putting hands on you, I think you at least got to try to work it out. Because
that case,
that's part of the experiment,
like
right?
you use Katina and Olajuwon. Okay, so like in that case, she wasn't beating him up, but she was beating him up, not physically. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if it's abusive like that. Like she threw the man's roses in the grass. She's like, ah. Yeah. She was abusive to him. Poor little Ben.
Yeah, look, I'm glad Ben said he's happy. She said she's happy. She being a travel nurse, she doing what she want to do, traveling and taking care of people, and then traveling around the world. So be it. So be it. And anything else on Morgan and Ben, you guys, before we close out? Stasha and Nate. Man, Miss controlling herself. She pushing that dude away.
You couldn't wait, huh, Glenn? You couldn't wait to say. You couldn't wait to say Miss controlling herself. You could. I was waiting. I was ready to say it. Give me a minute.
She is. You can see. I like Stasha, but at the same time, you can see where she's pushing that dude. Like, can you just give some leeway? Give some rooms. Give some grace. But I'll let you guys go. Let's start with Artika's back in the room. Artika, Stasha, and Nate. Your thoughts on where they're at and reunion.
One of the things that I did when I was watching the not Where Are They Now, the part 2 of the reunion, or maybe it was part 1. He said that he still had 8 more months on his lease. They've been married for 5 months. He still had 8 months left on his lease. And he was already living there beforehand. He renewed this lease in the middle of this because he knew this wasn't going to work. And I think we all knew it wasn't going to work when they were pretending to go buy knobs and pulls for the kitchen. And everything that he suggested, it was like, oh, that's nice. She was like, no. Like, that house was never going to be his home. And it's hard to want to live somewhere that's not your home. I know that, like, in our review, I mentioned that I moved into Tommy's apartment. It was hard trying to, like, make it our place. Once we moved out of there, it was easier because the next place was ours. And it wasn't like I'm trying to move your things around. It was like, okay, I have some things, you have some things. Let's figure the placement of all these things out. But that was her house, and she built this house. It wasn't like she just bought this house and they're doing renovations on things. Like, she built this house to her specifications. He never gonna feel at home in that house. She gonna have to sell that if she want to keep him.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I don't know what they're gonna be hot and cold for a very long time until they can actually work through whatever it is that they need to work through, because Nate's solution to tough situations is to shut down. That's not good. Stasha's solution is to pressure you into doing something. That's not good. I think her mom gave, like, her being open to talking to Nate. I think that's helpful because Nate can get off what he needs to, and trying to figure it out with Stasha from the person who understands Stasha the most, which is her mother. They can, I can see them working, but they have to put in the work. They need to, like, I think we talked about it, like the experts being available to, like, some type of counseling being available to them after the show is over. Like, maybe they pay for so many sessions, or hey, you have access to these people for a year, something, because just letting them go in the wild and they can't fly yet, man, they're gonna be eaten up. And that's what we're seeing here. They have bigger issues. They come on the show because they have personal issues with finding a mate. Those personal issues don't go away by being selected to be on Married at First Sight. So you still have to deal with those issues. Now you have to deal with those issues with somebody.
And the issue that they wanted them to deal with was intimacy, but then they kept putting them in sex situations.
But they don't. I don't.
And I'm like, that ain't the problem.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think that's their issue.
Yeah,
they're like they have
coaching Miguel and Lindy.
Right. Like, they know how to be intimate with each other. That's no problem. But the issue comes in with her wanting, her love looks different from his love, or him not understanding what she wants, and her controlling ways, and his, I just want to show you how I do things, and stuff like that. The biggest issue, I said this during the season, is her building that house, and that house actually being hers. That's going to be a tough situation, because how do you make that house his? How do you say this is your home as well in a situation where he can't, like, you're so controlling, you have a set way you want to do everything, right? So if that's the case, it's like, where does he put his mark at? So I don't know, man. I think they'll work. They just need help. And that's not, I think every couple needs help at some point. Theirs is just within their first year. Sometimes you don't need help in the first year, but you can make it to year 15 and be like, yo, I need help. You can make it to year 2. I need help. So I just think that's they have to want that,
I think at the end of it all, they said that they were going back to being here downtown for 8 whatever, and then going back to wherever she lives, and that they were going to get couples therapy. So I think that was the compromise, Tommy. They did. You said therapy, they say yeah, right? However, I do think that they can work, but I do think they, like you said, communicate differently. And that was great how you put it. He shuts down and she presses. And that's not good for either of them, right? She wants him to open up and say anything. Say something, and he just doesn't. That's what bothers me, though. Like, you don't say anything at all. Like, she pressing you, okay, calm down, that's too much. I could shut down for, a couple hours, maybe overnight, but I need to come back and articulate what I feel. I need to be able to tell you that this is how I'm feeling. This is what I don't like. But what what I heard was that he's shutting down when they're planning what their future looks like, how they're moving forward, probably with children, probably with savings, probably with the living situation is when he's shutting down, because I don't think he really wants to move forward in that way. Like he still wants a little bit of freedom. So that's how I see it. And I feel like when he came over, when Kristen said, you need to go over there and have a romantic gesture, I thought that's great. But he just started complaining. Like it wasn't like I'm trying to find a resolution. It was, I'm going to tell you everything about how you make me feel. And I'm going to complain about that until you understand. And so now she's all like, well, we're doing the same thing. We're on the merry-go-round. And I don't understand how we get off of here. So for her, my sanity is to just bow out gracefully. I've been doing fine by myself. Maybe I will have to go to the sperm bank and have me a baby, but I'm going to be able to do it. You know what I mean? Like that's how I feel with them. They can work. I do agree that they can work. Will they work is a different question. I feel like in the next 6 months, we're going to hear about it, you know, on your timeline, on Google, whatever, because sometimes, they be listening. It always talks about Married at First Sight, and it comes up when the people get a divorce. So I feel like in about 6 months, I'll get a notification that Stasha and Nate have called it quits. You listen in Google, remind me when they do. Like, that's how I feel. That's what I think that it's going to tell me anyway. They could work, but I don't think that they will work. Neither one of them knows how to compromise or how to hear what the other person is actually saying and how to negotiate in that space. So I don't care.
What I just thought about, when you were talking, I thought about this, and when Tommy said it too, I think Babyface had a song. It was "It's No Crime," but in that it said, "I move fast, you move slow." That's their problem. And Stasha's mom put it in perspective. You're a type person in life, period. And then also she was like, I came into this marriage like knowing it's a fast process. She like really wanted to get into it. And Nate don't work like that. And both of y'all said it. They need to get on the same page with that. Like, I'm not trying to get you to my pace. I'm not trying to get, we have to find somewhere in the middle, or just understand. I understand, Nate, this is how you operate. Nate said to Stasha, I understand this is how you operate. And can we be agreeable with that and just go from there? I really do think they could work, but like you said, you can't shutting down when we talk about goal setting and plans. Like, say something. You got to say something. You can't just shut down. You can't leave my place and not talk to me for about 3-4 days. You called my mama, which I appreciated him being able to call her mama. I was like, well, that says something. Because if I didn't care, I wouldn't even call your mama. But you call her mom like, I need some help. This your child. No. I need some help. Kristen tried to help him out. And I think with that, even though they got into the same thing, because when he came, he was like, oh, you said you wanted to do some painting. So Stasha was like, no, I want to talk.
I want to talk about the issue.
And he wanted to talk. He just wanted to break the ice with the painting. But automatically, she was like, here we go. He's shutting down. He's finding something else to do as opposed to focusing on the issue.
But that's what that's her thing. She wanted to go straight forward. Mm-hmm. She doesn't know how to navigate rough water. She go head honcho. She dives in first, right? I think Nate he's free spirited. If you look at his whole demeanor, he's free spirited. And being free spirited, he just want to go with the flow. And she's not a go with the flow type person. She's rigid. I mean, this is where look. She put the freaking pillows on the bed every morning, right? With the little tray.
Oh yeah.
With the tray on it. She stays your bedroom, right, man? I mean, she is like dress right, dress. So, and when you got somebody who's dressed right, dress, somebody who's free spirited, the person who's dressed like dress right, dress needs to at least come down a little bit, and the person that's free spirited may need to come up a little bit. They're in the same race. They gotta realize they're on the same team.
This the other thing.
And they're not realizing that right now.
Yeah, this is the other thing I was going to say too, Tommy. You touched on this, and this was their problem. Like, you know, y'all talked about them giving them the sex toys and stuff like that. And see, they had sexual intimacy down. They didn't have intimacy, like the emotional intimacy, because they was good on that. They was giving other people, but you know, the intimacy is more than just the sexual. Like, and that's where Stasha, that's where they have to get on the same page too, because you know, Stasha's like, I want to know you, and Nate moving slow, you know, letting her into his world. So I don't know. That's the other part that I was like, so Stasha let the cat out the bag. What you call it when you break down that wall? What's that wall? You know,
fourth wall?
Yeah, the fourth wall. Stasha was like, if that was the case, you would have said something to me before it was called time for filming. I was like, oh snap. You just told us that where are they now? It's straight fake. It's a setup. It's a setup. I was like, oh, okay.
I gotta just had a thought. Nate said when he was talking to Kristen that he was scared to go back and talk to her. Do you think that Nate is afraid, or not necessarily afraid, but thinks about her making more and him not being able to provide in a manner that he thinks that he needs to provide for them to be a great couple? Because you see, they don't talk about being a power couple anymore. And they had stopped doing that for, you know, a few weeks now. And with Nate, with knowing that Nate grew up seeing his dad take care of them, his ideas of a man is they're supposed to take care of home. Well, if she makes more money than him, where does he fit in taking care of home? Just a thought.
When you said that though, I think it wasn't even just so much as she made more money than him. She might be the type of, because you know, you could be in a relationship with a wife, the woman makes more money than the man, but she knows how to, I'm about to say a dirty word. She's submissive. She still let him be the head of the house. I think his scare was she makes more money than me. And so I can't, like, she acts like that. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So it wasn't even so much that she makes more money. It's like she don't know how to bring that down when it comes to us in the house, which goes to her controlling. You know, she want to be in control. She don't let me be the man. She don't let me be the man. You know?
Again, how can she? She said, "Oh, she didn't need a man." I go back to what she said. I don't need a man. I want a man. So now she has to let him be able to maneuver, and like you said, maneuver those realms in certain areas and have some W's, get some wins. Maybe if his win is being the creative one, right? His win is setting up the nice dates. His win is doing all the stuff that, like doing. I think he did the selfie wall that they talked about in the part 2 of the reunion. Doing those things where he feel like he's giving to her, or those things that she feel like that's love, and you win, and that's a win for him, you know. And so she has to be able to relinquish some things and understand that everything's not going to be her way 100% of the time. That he's going to make mistakes, that they're going to falter. I think she understands that, but I think she has everything in a time frame, or in a window, in a box, that I want my stuff to be this way. I want to have kids by this age. I want to be married by this. I want to be in this house by this age. So I want to be there. I think that's where she's at with the whole situation with Nate. But allegedly, I'm gonna say allegedly, they're not together. According to the internet.
Well, I mean, she ain't gonna be with nobody if she doesn't know how to. So when you think about relationships, two people in everybody, two people. Some relationships do be having more than two people, just so y'all know. But two people, when it's a regular relationship, a normal two people relationship, I'm trying to make it like, you know, make sense. It's just like being at work. The leader delegates, right? And though I might be good at finances, I'm not good at, I don't know. I'm good at a lot of things, but but I be pretending when I'm in a one-to-one relationship. I pretend like I'm not good at something so that you can have you're able to lead and you feel like you're a success in this relationship. And I think that that's what she in any relationship going forward, especially if they're not together no more, she's going to have to figure out what is my partner's strengths and let them do that. You're good at this. You're good at this. Do it. I love when you do this. It excites me because you're a better cook than I am, or it excites me because you plan better than I do. We don't even know if you know how to plan because she's always planning. So I mean, it excites me that and let them do that because I want to feel like I'm valued in the relationship too.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you gotta do that. I totally agree. I agree with that. Make you feel valued. There's something you can do. I think you talked about one time, like I think Tommy or you, Talisa, on one of our past reviews, talking about if you like that grass, if you like the marks in the grass when you cut the yard, right? Then that's what you like. It's one of those type things. So hey, what he does, man. Anything else on Stasha and Nate? Please also. All right, Mitch and Kristen, last one.
Oh yeah,
I forgot about that. I thought
I was like, oh, we finished. Let's wrap it up. But that's because we added Ben and Morgan in, and we hadn't been talking about them. So yeah,
Real quick, and I want to jump to not the reunion, but I want to jump to where they're now. If after Mitch gave Morgan after Mitch gave Kristen that gift, if he would have said, "Come back with me," I think old girl gonna come back with him over a fanny pack and a card. Because she cried over that card and a fanny pack, and then she got all choked up. Maybe it's just me. Did they make this seem like the show just revolved all around Kristen? And I thought about Sex and the City, like she's moving to New York, doing all thing. I'm like, this girl might get a spinoff. But anyway, that's my thought. But I think if Mitch would have asked her back, she might have gone back to Mitch. Tommy, I thought with you, your thoughts on Mitch and Kristen from the past, from the reunion, and from where they're now.
The where they now shows us that she would have said yes if she would have went first when they were making their decision. Yes, this did revolve around her because she had some reason, because she was leaving, so that was the main story. Kristen's leaving. Now, what are we doing to celebrate Kristen leaving? Type of deal. But I don't get it with her and Mitch. Like, it's not about Mitch at that point. I think it's more so the idea of what Mitch was. I think anybody could have been Mitch and she would have felt the same way. Because this man has explained to you why no is no. He has told you that he doesn't want the door open. At some point, you have to be like, yeah, nah. You would think. And then also, throughout the season, you was like, not sure if you like him. So it's all of these things bottled up. And then you get to this card, and it's like, oh, but I would just, I would take him back. Maybe it could have worked. Maybe I'd close the door. Just whatever you were saying. I was like, this is stupid. Go ahead and leave and go to New York, man. And then the second thing is, why are you going on dates and you about to leave? I was like, this is so stupid. I broke up with a girlfriend, Nartika knows this, from high school because I was going off to college. I'm not even trying to be faithful. Like at that point, because I'm like, man, I'm outnumbered. Like, what sense does that make? You go into a whole new city, meet all new people. Man, come on, man. Ain't nobody trying to hear that, man.
Them dates were staged. They made them go out with them dudes, man. Them stage dates. I'm glad Artika said it. I'm saying the same thing. Them were stage dates. They didn't want to go out with them dudes. Man, come on.
I was so done. I was just like, she just needs to be quiet throughout this whole thing, man, and just enjoy everybody. And it was hard to see. It was almost like, how are they gonna be around each other type of deal. But then Like, Mitch did what he was supposed to do. Essentially, he gave her, hate to see you go. Sorry for whatever feelings I treated you wrong. Here you go. Got something special for you. All right, then. But her refilling whatever she was feeling or thinking something was going to go another way, I don't think she should have just kept that to herself, in my opinion.
I think you said it best, Tommy. It was the fact that it could have been anybody. Don't be shocked. You've been on these last few episodes, okay? Like I want to say the last 6 episodes. I've been agreeing with a lot you've been saying.
Now I be missing sometimes, though.
But I think you've been hitting it this time. Evidently, you've been practicing, okay, and really paying attention. I think that it could have been anybody. She just wanted to be married. And I believe that because she continuously tells us that she needs someone that values her, that sees her. She knows that this man does not do any of these things. But because I was already heartbroken, right? And because now here we are again, this is my second failed attempt at getting married or being married or whatever. From the homosexual to now, the beach bum, because that's really what he is. I love the environment. They pretty much I think they're kind of the same man anyway. Nevertheless, I feel like she just wants to have the companionship and probably should buy her a dog. The moment she gets to New York, she should get her a puppy and love on that puppy and let the puppy love her back, because she just wants a relationship. And I think that that's a good space for her, because otherwise she's just going to meet somebody else in New York and have this same cycle of madness because I like Kristen. At least I thought I did. I felt like, wow, she's setting boundaries and then she didn't keep them, right? He did the boundaries and then she let them just go on. I'm not gonna have sex with him, and if he says only if he says I love you will I say yes. But we know that if she had went first, she would have said yes. And so I kind of feel for her. I actually think she's a really pretty lady. As I sat and watched her on the part 2, sitting on the couch, I thought, wow, she's actually really attractive. She's actually really attractive. And so I feel like she's just selling herself short. Maybe she feels like she's too old. I don't know. She's younger than Stasha. And Stasha's like, I still got the goods. So I don't know. I agree with you, Tommy, and that's all I got. I feel like she just wanted to be married, and I didn't see that part of the reunion show. I mean, of the where are they now? I got up and I left. But listening to what you said, she probably would have said, if he wants me back right now. Oh, she does have a pug. Duh. Oh my God. See how much I be paying attention. I see the dog with the wrinkles. They got to clean the wrinkles. Have mercy. Y'all just letting me go and going. None of y'all saying nothing over here.
Tommy was over here yelling. I was like, you're on mute.
I told her.
Listen, I'm Justin now. Y'all out here embarrassing me in front of all these people. I don't understand why y'all would do me like that.
You was on a roll.
But I thought you meant she need another one, a new product.
I forgot about the dog.
I'm about to cut this part of this conversation out, and I'm about to put you on TikTok yelling at us like this.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all. I'm done. Ashe. Because listen, I totally forgot about Lil Luna. Maybe she needs another dog she could cuddle up with. Maybe that's why.
Right.
That does not snore or
I knew, yeah,
does not snore.
They require.
Bless me. I love y'all though. So and what happened was, Janae, I appreciate you, okay? Or Janie, I hope it's Janae. Listen.
I think it's Janae.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we was on
and Norette, okay? Because I looked over and I was like, my folks, y'all just got me out here just dangling.
You was on a roll. I did not want to interrupt. My parents taught me manners. You was on a roll. I did not want to
out here dangling. I would have been like, oh, right.
No, we good. We good. Oh man, but she is. I think she like you said, she's pretty. She's value. She just doesn't value herself. She started to value herself, and I think she's gotten better in that. But I don't think her and Mitch. I don't like the way that she kept throwing shots at Mitch during that little stage date about the plastic straws and all this other stuff. Maybe they told her to say that, but Mitch is comfortable. Mitch is cool who he is, right? Mitch is gonna do Mitch. He ain't gonna worry about nobody else. He's gonna try to get somebody to date, and it works out. If it works out, it works out. My question to you guys, and I really thought about this too, like if she would have said yes, and then got this promotion, Mitch wasn't going to New York.
No.
That relationship probably would have went that way too. Or do y'all think Mitch would have went to New York?
No, I don't think he would have gone.
You can't surf in New York. No.
Mitch would have had a anxiety attack because
all the pollution and stuff.
Yeah. New York is the filthiest place I've ever been in my life.
I've never been to New York, but it doesn't seem like it's like always a traffic jam.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. It just doesn't seem to be a great place for an environmentalist.
They need some environmentalists.
I had to slow that word down, man. That's a big one.
Oh man, yeah. I don't think Mitch would have went, man. But
I want to say something though about the letter thing and everything. I think. But Alexis talked some sense into Kristen. Was like, no, don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. I know he gave you sweet Mitch, and that's what you wanted. But Alexis was like, don't fall into the trap, because she was like, I got teary-eyed. Like Kristen would have went like if at the end of that letter, Mitch was like, so do you like me? Circle yes or no. Do you want to try again? Circle yes or no. Yes. But I think I could understand, because she was like, I feel like she really didn't see that side of Mitch. Like I think he was genuine, and maybe it was just because you leaving. It's a nice good farewell, nice farewell gift, But I could understand why she was like that. Like I didn't get this from Mitch at all, and in this moment I actually feel like he and that's what kept messing her up. It's like I want to hate him, and then he do something nice. I want to dislike him. I know he's not the guy that I'm expecting, and I know he has a problem with attraction, but he keeps showing me glimpses, and so she's getting caught in that. But I don't know.
Disco Sprinkles, you said something that was happening on the reunion. That's why the experts kept apologizing to Kristen. They knew they shouldn't have put them two together. They felt guilty. Mm-hmm. Dr. Pepper said they felt guilty. Pastor Cal, like they kind of felt guilty. They were two extremes, but they do this every episode. I mean, every season. They put a couple together that's two extremes, and put them together and expect it to work out. Mm-hmm. You got a dude who's a environmentalist who doesn't like to reuse, who wants to reuse everything, and a girl who likes her Starbucks and her plastic straws. And you got a guy he puts candy in a burlap sack, whatever that little sack he gave her was. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy, but glad the season over.
I think was Artika about to say something.
Oh, go ahead, Artika. You good?
No, I was moving the mouse off of somewhere. It was popping up. I'm sorry.
This season of Married at First Sight is over. Season 15 is done. Tennessee is next. Closing thoughts on this season, y'all. Closing thoughts on this season of Married at First Sight. We'll start with August's love story.
I'm happy that it's over. Mm-hmm. This season didn't feel like I got to the rough patch of, oh my God, we're still watching this, until we got to the very ending. So I will say that it was better for that reason. But I want them to get a little bit more expert intervention. Even if the experts can't fix things, give me tools to fix it the next go round. Because a lot of these people are gonna have a next go round. That's just the nature of the beast. So, but yeah, it's been more interesting than previous seasons. I'm happy that we didn't have a villain this time where they overshadowed everything, such as Chris with Paige or Alyssa with what's his name? Chris.
Yeah.
Chris is not a good name to go on this show.
And Ryan.
D Brown. She said.
Oh, D Brown. Yes, we are from Tennessee. We actually were in Nashville yesterday. And I watched the previews, and a girl that we actually went to school with was one of the people that they did not pick. But we're trying to see how many more people we knew that were like in that realm, because I don't actually know anyone that's on this new season, but I am adjacent to a person that is on the season. I'm gonna see what kind of information I can find out about that too, but not enough to like taint my viewing experience.
Yeah, I just want to go in surprised at everything. Oh, you here? This season for me was much better than the other two seasons. Like I always, what season we on? 15. Well, it was much better than the last season.
I don't even remember last season.
Yeah, but the last season just seemed like it drawed out too long. Right? This season flowed smoothly for me. I wish the experts would expert better in the next season, and I wish that the success rate of Married at First Sight would even out a little bit better, because I'm just throwing a number out here. They're like 80-20, 70-30 on no's, like the no's being the higher number. I just wish, because it's an experiment, right? And so I believe that it can work with the correct tools. And I don't feel like they're utilizing the tools to have a successful marriage. And because it's things that veteran couples utilize that these strangers aren't being, like they're not utilizing correctly. Or I feel like they're not utilizing correctly to actually make the relationship work. So I wish that would kind of balance out a little bit better. But overall, I think this season was great. I'm looking forward to Nashville because that's the home state. I root for everybody from home. Like, I'm a Celtics fan, but I root for Memphis Grizzlies. I root for Atlanta all the time. But if they're playing the Celtics, this is completely off topic, and I hate that I'm here. But if they're playing the Celtics, I'm rooting for the Celtics. Go Vols. We lost yesterday too, but it's okay. We had an amazing season. It's okay. I'm good. But yeah, man, I enjoy talking to y'all. So all of this, I've had fun. So, I even have done better at explaining things. Leave it to Talisa. She said I've been on the road for like the last 6 weeks. Whoop, whoop. So but yeah, that's all I got, man.
Talisa.
Well, I always enjoy the camaraderie that we have, the experience that we have. This is what makes it fun, because every season I seem to stop recording and uploading myself halfway through, and then I'm just here with y'all. It was a much better season. I feel like it wasn't drawn out, and I could have hung in there, but then I wouldn't party. So that's what happens with me, right? I go have fun, and then I forget everything about YouTube. Like, what? And then I don't want to do it. Can't get back on track. I'm 3-4 episodes behind, and then I forget. But because this is my family's home state, I'm gonna try again. We're gonna give it the good college try. I'm gonna try again. And if only 5 people watch my reviews, but I'm gonna do it because I haven't done anything in months. So I need to figure it out. How do I get back on the train? I'm gonna just jump on there one day. One day y'all gonna see me and you're gonna be like, oh, she's live. I'm gonna be like, I am. I had to do something. Anyway, I enjoyed it. I'm with you with, I knew it was something when you were talking about the experts and not need to expert more. I kind of feel like they should bring one of the successful couples back and have them talk about how they've been successful. Like maybe have one of those powwows where they all go out and whatever they do, when they had those group activities, and have one of those successful couples come back and talk about their experience and how successful they were and why. You know what I mean? Like, give them the tools that they actually need to be successful. Because it's not looking good. It's not looking good. And most people only watch it because we're watching it for the drama. Like, I want to see the people have happy relationships, because people who are in arranged marriages be married for forever. I watched okay, here I am going off on my tangent. Okay, it's not my turn. That Indian Matchmaker is what it's called on Netflix. And then they have people, now those people don't be getting no matches, but they have the couples who were in arranged marriages, but they've been married for 24 years. And you'll hear people be like, yeah, I didn't like him. I didn't think he was attractive. I thought he was, he wasn't too smart, but they still together. Like, it's important to see other people who have gone through the experience make it. You know what I mean? So I think that would be beneficial. Married at First Sight producers, if you're listening, what's the Lifetime? If you're listening, maybe try that, as well as having the experts come in more often. We probably should see them every other episode, if not every episode. They should be we shouldn't just be seeing them in their vignettes talking about why they matched them. We think that they're good because, no, we got that when you did the matchmaking episode. We want to see how they're going to get better now. Okay, I'm done.
Tommy said something that I was like, oh, I just saw something about that the other day. And I'm glad I had a screenshot, because now I can't find it no more. When you were talking about the success rate of the Married at First Sight. So our good old friend Chris Williams had made a post where he had a whole statistical thing. I can't find that picture. Like, I think he pulled the post down. But he said, based on what he put up, there's a 20% success rate for Married at First Sight. 20%. Which, I mean, it's strangers. It's an experiment. It's an experiment. They're doing it to see if it works. So, but based on that, I agree. The experts need to do some more experting with the matching. Don't do them extremes. Like Talisa said, don't spend time telling us again why you matched them when you already had a matchmaking special or whatever. Like, I don't want to do that, but they need to do something different. I feel like Artika too. I wasn't exhausted at the end of this season like the season before. I wasn't exhausted like, oh my gosh, can this just hurry up and be over? Y'all know I felt that way with Morgan and Ben, but not the season. But I mean, overall, it was pretty good. I don't know. As far as the couples go, I know we saw the Where Are They Now. I'm curious to see if the two that stayed together, if they still stay together, or if what's rumored is true. So that's all I have to say about the season.
Yeah, man.
Really quick before you go, Glenn. Really quick. You know what, Jackie? If Ben and Morgan had stayed, we would have been exhausted. They would have been the couple that would have made us exhausted. That was a good point. Okay. Mm-hmm. There you go. All right, bro. It's on you. There you go.
No, you good. I want them to have a financial expert just there. I say this every season. Give them a financial expert. Let us see. They said they met the experts a lot, but let us see the interaction with the experts. I think they will make us feel better. And also, I think what made it smoother this time, we didn't have all those gaps and breaks with these different specials. They rolled the specials on the back end of the show. I think that was cool for them to do that as well. And it was drama free. We really could see some of these couples moving along and thinking they could make it. I think that was what helped us out a little bit as well. They still had some drama, but it wasn't like everybody had drama, right? Everybody had just a little bit of something. Not no Elijah Wan and Katina, not no Michael and Jasmina, where you like, you know what, that's not gonna work. That's train wreck. That's a train wreck. Lindy and Mark the Shark, that was a train wreck. You like when you had like 4 or 5 train wrecks in the show, you're like, okay, this is over. But when you got like maybe 1 or 2, you can watch it. But I think that was a cool part about it, the show. And so, we just see what they do here in January with Nashville. interested to see how Nashville rolls out, and see how that see if we finish with 5 couples. Think about it. The last 2 seasons we had, we only ended with 4 couples because 2 couples, Alyssa and Chris, was already done before the season was over. Morgan and Ben was already done before the season over. I'm just want to see if they can make it to 5 couples to decision day this next time. Just see if 5 couples can make a decision day. But make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. Make sure y'all hit the bell notification. Make sure you check out everybody. Subscribe to August Love Story. Subscribe to Talisa Ray. Tomorrow, for those who watch Ready to Love, we have an interview with Samson tomorrow night at 9 p.m. So you can check that out. Just the only person we really wanted to talk to off of the show, but just want to make sure you check that out. So while we're there,
let me say this because I am your sister, boy. So funny.
No, that's my brother.
My brother's in the comments, but anyway.
I saw that and was like, you look like somebody's Jackie the whole time. That's your brother. Lord help us all.
August Love Story, y'all still doing Saturday mornings? Go ahead, Tommy.
Yes, we missed yesterday because we had to meet my mom in Nashville. But we will be back on Saturday. Yeah. We had it planned out a different way, but somebody got sick. Didn't get to stay where we were going to stay. So it was a conundrum.
Yeah. So we'll be back this next Saturday with a coffee break. And yeah.
Talisa, anything else you want to promote before we rock out?
I don't want to promote absolutely nothing. I feel like anytime I promote something, it never comes to fruition. So I'm going to just be quiet. And y'all have to go on and subscribe over there and put your notifications on. And then when it pops up, you just be like, oh! That's
Hey, we appreciate you, every one of you guys. Have a good time. Thanks for joining us this season, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Peace.